Okay. So I want you to introduce yourselves with the very cliche way of telling us your name. And I want you to share a wisdom that you got in your life, but painfully. All right? Not سمعت لستي أو لجدي وتعلمت الدرس بلا ما أدفع حقه. All right? But a lesson that I learned painfully. All right? And what does it mean to learn something painfully? There's a saying in English which says, by the way, we're all okay with English? Let's just clarify. Yeah? We're okay. Okay, so but we are in Lebanon, so إذا في شيء ما فهمناه ما حدا يستحي الحق علي أنا ما بحكي عربي منيح. Okay, لا بالعكس I do speak Arabic well, so أنا اللي لازم أحكي عربي. في مثل بالإنجليزي بيقول لك إنه تحكي علي مرة, okay, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. All right, that's learning the lesson painfully. So I want you to share your name and a piece of wisdom that you've learned painfully. And if you're really courageous, then you can tell us why you learned that. If not, it's okay. You can stop at what was the piece of wisdom. All right, so let's start.
Okay, بس ما في شيء as a wisdom هلا براسي. I don't know. Okay, so my name is Mira Hamoud. I'm 26 years old. I came recently على لبنان. وبالأساس أنا دارسة as management بس هلا فتت بدومين تجميل. و I have my own place as a skincare and laser وكل شيء related for the skin. What else? You want to know something? I don't know. ما بعرف ما في شيء براسي
I'm still learning. Okay.
حتى يعني 25 سهول لحسين 26 بعدني 25. Yeah. Yes. As example.
As an example, I don't know. You've never been heartbroken?
No, بلا.
Okay, so what was the lesson from there?
I don't care about ولا أي شيء. We're gonna die anyway. وإنه we have to live عن جد نكون إنه مبسوطين ومرتاحين وما to overreact على ولا أي شيء بالحياة. Okay. All will pass.
Okay, so that's a lot of wisdom in there. Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hello. أنا كريستين. I'm a mom of two, divorced. أكل كتير كفوف. تعلمت كتير بس the biggest thing إنه تعلمت I got breast cancer. I went through a lot, chemotherapy, radiotherapy and everything. تعلمت من هذا الشيء إنه life is very simple. ما ناخد كل شيء كتير seriously و ناخد كل شيء إنه هيك. Yeah, it will pass. And someone needs to be strong لأنه the strength comes within مش from other people. So this is it.
Yeah, we are better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, اسمي زينة. أنا كمان mom of two. I'm separated, not yet divorced. أنا بقول الشيء اللي تعلمته من my experience هي إنه to listen to my gut. إنه وقتها you feel that there's something wrong, it means really there's something wrong and you have to dig within or dig more to learn about it. مش إنه stay in the comfort zone يلي هي not really suitable for you, really to dig and know more and to know your truth. وقتها هيك يعني really you are truthful to yourself, you will feel if there is something wrong and that's it. Okay.
Maya, كمان I'm a mother of two, divorced. I'm a fashion designer. I have my brand Magaya. Okay, تعلمت كتير قصص مش شوي بس أهم شيء to believe in myself, in my dreams. Never ever rely on anyone for anything.
Okay. All right, Sandra.
Hi, I'm Sandra. I'm a life coach and hypnotherapist. That's my new career. Before that, in my past, what I like to call my past life, I used to work as a writer. After a long depression, suicidal attempt to healing journey, the lesson that I painfully discovered was that the only person I can truly rely on is myself, no matter how big of a support system I have.
Hamad?
Yes, أول شيء حابب أرحب بالجميع. My name is Muhammad Othman. أول شيء ملاحظ إنه they're all ladies. I'm the only male here. So I'm
You're
lucky.
special.
Yeah, I'm very unique. This is my part of my uniqueness in the journey. I'm a mechanical engineering graduate from Lebanese American University in Byblos. اشتغلت بالأكاديميكس أكتر لأنه بحب الريسيرش فاتجهت لأعمل ماسترز in data science. I have done my data science. I went and took so many workshops. And now I'm doing a bachelor in psychology because I love this. And being in House of Wisdom is part of my psycho-spiritual journey. طبعا I had some similar attempts of suicide in my past because I have a neurosis issue. The thing that I learned, so I'm also divorced. I have a daughter, one daughter. I'm a life coach too, hypnotherapist, timeline therapist, NLP coach, CBT and ABA, lie detection and face reading and whatever. At the end, the thing that I learned about wisdom, the wisdom that I learned from a pain or from a hard time is not everything in life goes the way I want. Sometimes even your gut or your intuition tells you something and you see something else in the surroundings and you have a fight. Inner conflict between yourself and the surroundings. Not a real fight but cognition fight. انه مش عم بيصير الشغله اللي انا بدي اياها. So you have to be patient. Life is not for you. Life goes with you and through you but not you're not the whole life on earth. في عالم غيرها في شجر في حجر في spirits في كذا. So that's it.
All right, thank you. My name is Jana. I am a psychologist. I'm the founder of the House of Wisdom Center. I am a spiritual student since I was 13. And my journey in psychology and spirituality stems originally and comes mainly from all of the Abrahamic lineage, which is unique to Lebanon because most people teach spirituality coming from an Eastern philosophy, which is yoga and Buddhism and Hinduism, commercialized in different packages that they say, okay, it's transcendental meditation, it's this, but actually these all originate from Hinduism and Buddhism. My focus or my journey has solely been through the Abrahamic faith, starting from what is known as the Tree of Life study, which is known as Kabbalah, and going on to Sufism, which I've been practicing for 17 years now, and Kabbalah I've been a student since I was 13. Before that, I delved into the world of it's kind of a philosophy in Bulgaria. I grew up in Eastern Europe, and I actually haven't done a lot of things besides psychology and spirituality. That's it. Those are my main interests, and those are what I focus on. I'm a mom of one, and the lesson that I learned, the piece of wisdom that I learned painfully is that it's good and look for the good even when it's not, right? So look for the good even when it's not. And I think that takes effort. That is actually painful because it takes effort. Okay, so that's about me. And we're ready to start the course? Okay. So first of all, what is the Course in Wisdom? All right, let's start with that. Let's brainstorm. What is the Course in Wisdom? So a Course in Wisdom is the study of your soul. It's the study of how to get what you want from life, how to channel the life, what in Aramaic is known as khaya, the life force underneath everything that runs this world. Because underneath everything you see there is a life force. And that's the first principle of the Course in Wisdom. There's a life force. You have a body, but you call that you also have a soul. In this rock, there is something that makes it not deteriorate. There is something that holds it together, maybe of a lesser frequency than what holds your body, but nevertheless, there is something in that stone that holds it together. There is a life that holds all of the cosmos together. Somehow in synchronicity, somehow by coincidence, somehow by, at the end of the day, for however many years you believe you're here, whether it's your first generation or whether it's 5,000 years or whether you are from the Stone Ages, there is something that continues to exist. And the study of that life force is what the Course in Wisdom is. Because in everything you see, the way that you experience reality is based on your 5 senses. Right? It's based on, you see a body, you feel the temperature, you smell some smell, and you're shaping or creating knowledge. You're not creating wisdom, you're creating knowledge. You're basing what you see in this world, you're basing ideas, belief systems, experiences, and you're walking through them, gearing on how to build success. And of course, if you go to any university, if you go to any Department of Studies, they absolutely have nailed it. I think that in the 21st century, with the existence of the internet, we've really nailed how to become successful, how to make money, how to be beautiful. You can do all sorts of things, how to be psychologically well, right? All of those things, actually, we've pretty much nailed. But come to look at what drives that factor. What drives that factor? And again, because some of you are coaches and healers, some of you are beauticians, sometimes there's something that you do that you just look really good. It's a glow. And that's not cosmetics. It's a glow. It's life. And there's also something in your psychology clients that propels them to really move ahead. And there's something that stagnates them, that they say, I'm not interested. Forget it. I don't want to change. But it's really good for, I don't want to go on a diet. Right? So what is that life force that is gearing us? That's the study in the Course in Wisdom. And that life force is not religion. All right? That life force is not labeled religion. Now, some people would like to say, okay, but that's Islam. And some people would like to say, okay, but that's Christianity. Or some people would like to say that's Hinduism. Actually, they are right. It's all of these things. But it doesn't belong to one person. These are all terminologies that people at different times in different locations have agreed on. I'm going to call him Allah, he's going to call him Jesus, someone's going to call him Vishnu, and okay. And now we're fighting over which name is right. But actually, in reality, they're all describing one thing, which is the life force, known as the light. All right? In the House of Wisdom, we call it the light. The light is a universal principle. And the way that you study the light is not important what you believe, right? You shared your wisdom, good for you. Alhamdulillah, you're all very wise. But there's one thing that you need to know, which is the second principle in Course in Wisdom. The light force, the light doesn't care what you believe. If you walk out of a building that's 5 floors, I don't care what you believe. There's I believe, I don't believe, وأنا مبسوطة وأنا مش مبسوطة وأنا زعلانة nobody cares. You've just jumped off the 5th floor. رح توقعي. Why? Because that's a universal principle. Gravity is a universal principle. So too does your soul have a life force, a energy, and a spiritual system that can show you how to not just succeed in the material world, because some of you might be successful, some of you might be failing. Each one of us is figuring something out, by the way. You might be figuring out finances. You might be figuring out relationships. You might be figuring out independence. We all have something that we're trying to figure out. And in the second class, you will understand that that thing which you're trying to figure out is what in the House of Wisdom we call takween, which is a correction, which means correction? How or what did you come here to kind of come to terms with? But before that, because you're going to study a lot of principles, the first thing that you need to, I don't know the person though. The first principle that you need to kind of come to terms with is that everything comes from the light force of the creator. Now, I'm going to ask you the question. I want you to gear your mind to start thinking about that. What doesn't come or what does not have, let's challenge this, right? What does not have the light in it? What does not have the light in it?
Darkness.
Darkness. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing doesn't have the light in it. The idea, even I want you to even go that deep if you're able to, and it's okay if you're not able to, all right? Even the idea of nothing already has light in it. It's really, the moment you say nothing, you've already put something like an image of that. It's empty, it's black, it's negative energy, it's whatever you face. That already has some light in it. Nothing can possibly exist without the light force of the creator. Nothing exists. It's as simple as that. It just is not there. You cannot even think about it, because the moment you've thought about it, and that's the secrets of man, right? As you advance, you will understand what it means to be a human being rather than just, you know, the human being in the animal state. But the mere fact that you've thought about something, you've already given it life. You've already given it an energy force. All right? So based on that, we need to know that there's nothing in this world that exists without the light force of the creator. And by here comes, and I've just literally thrown you into the deep end, but it's okay. I think that energy-wise, you guys can handle it. Here comes the very interesting question. If nothing can exist without the light of the creator, and you want something, you've already given it life, right? You've already given it an image. You've already given it something, right? A thought, an idea, right? So by default, it means that it already exists. By default, that which you desire already exists. Even further, even it goes further. The fact that you think it, the fact that you want it, makes it yours by decree. All right? It's already yours. No questions asked. People can borrow it. Other people can steal it. But when you are ready, and when your consciousness, and when you have enough light, or when you have enough energy, that is yours. All right? And the lessons that we learn painfully are because, and I sometimes use vulgar language to just slap you spiritually, not physically, all right? Is because you are dumb and you're not learning the lesson quickly enough when the universe is dishing you that which you want. Because the light cannot come into something that there's no room for it, right? So if you want to attract this level of consciousness or this light, let's say you want $1,000, but you only work in a job that's 200. The 800 can't come in. Is the 1,000 yours? Yes. But the 800 cannot come in. لا ما يفوت لي. كيف بده يفوت لي إياها؟ ما the capacity is not there. Something has to change. And that change is internal. That change is you. It's not nobody else. So yes, in the course in wisdom, we talk about the light, but actually it's not a study about the light. It's the study of the vessel. Can you repeat that word? It's the study of the vessel. It's the study of the person that's accepting. It's the study of how to accept and receive more in life. And how do you alter your consciousness from a limited capacity to receive into a bigger capacity to receive? All right? So what is Course in Wisdom? Course in Wisdom is a universal spiritual system, which is the study of our soul. And while we speak tremendously about the light, actually the light is not the object of our study. What we're actually studying is the vessel, which can be anything, which can be us, it can be the table, it can be our business, it can be whatever it is. So right now, I want you to take 1 minute to yourself and define the vessel for you. Define the vessel. Are you the vessel? Is your business the vessel? Are your kids the vessel? Is your mind the vessel? Is your pocket the vessel? No shame. There's no shame. By the way, I say this, those who desire, who comes to the Course in Wisdom wanting to become very spiritual people, and those who come, saying like, oh, you know what, I don't really care. I just want to get laid and get married or whatever it is, right? Actually, many people are like, oh, انت شو فهمان وانت wow, you're so low. Actually, both things are equal. You want more light. That's it. You want more light, whatever that is for you. So take one moment now and define your vessel for you, because the Course in Wisdom is a system that applies to everything. It doesn't just apply if you want healing. That's what the Course in Wisdom will be for you, right? If you want a philosophy to be interested, all right, that's what the Course in Wisdom will do for you. If you want more creativity for your business and how to manage your operations better, that's what it will be for you. There is no such situation in which the Course in Wisdom does not apply to you, right? Just 1 second. What do you want? I don't have it here. I don't know, upstairs. All right? That offspring is mine. All right? So define the vessel and what that means for you. All right? Because today, there's one thing. I don't know whether you've paid or not paid for the course, but whatever your situation is, if you don't have a vessel by the end of this class, take your money and don't continue the course, because the one prerequisite for the Course in Wisdom, call it whatever you want, a desire, a want. I want something. I want drugs, whatever. I don't care what you want, but just هيدي الكلمة, I want, has to be there. If you have no want, there is nothing that can change in this Course in Wisdom.
should I نحدد ولا لا؟ يعني مثلا for example as a job should I نحدد شو بدي in my job?
No. Just define the vessel. Like, I want to expand my career. I want to expand my earning capability. I want to heal. I want more creativity. I want more psychological techniques. I want more clients. Whatever it is that you want, just want that. And by the way, you can take this and apply it to any of the 12 segments of your life later on. But at least for the Course in Wisdom, try to, so that you see the benefit, right? So that you say, okay, this worked, right? Or it didn't work. You can say it didn't work, it's fine, right? But at least so you say, okay, this worked. All right. You guys done? All right. People online, you should be able to see a slide.
Yes.
Okay. So the light. All of us, if I ask you right now to share, what did you write? What is it that you want?
The main
Mm?
is my business.
Okay.
So it comes confidence, creativity, wealth, relationship under my business.
Okay.
Okay.
Financial independence. So I think it will give me more freedom on so many levels.
Okay. Financial independence.
I have so many questions about life. I want to answer them.
Okay.
I want to be able to listen to my intuition even more.
Okay.
My business.
Your business. Okay. Hamad.
I want to get closer to the ultimate light, to be able to understand the moments easier. يعني each moment to get it. أحسن ما أتعلم painfully. I want to have a shortcut.
Okay. Sandra.
No, I want to heal so I can expand. I've been in such a blockage state lately.
Okay.
So,
So you see that triangle? That's you. That's every single one of us. And you see that white light? That's the light of the Creator that's coming into that prism. And what comes out is not in the capacity, in the laws of the Creator. That is in your hands. And that's very important for you to understand it tonight. You only receive from the light force, life, light, energy, whatever you want to call it. You determine what you are going to create. The outcome of that energy is determined by you. So when you stand there asking for love and clarity and blah, blah, and blah, blah, all of these things are not in the capacity of Allah, Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha to give them to you. Because the light force does not work like this. It just doesn't. The light force only works in one way, and it is to give energy. That's it. That's all it can give you. All right? You decide what you're going to do with that energy. You could potentially waste that energy on Netflix. You could waste that energy on building a relationship that's going to collapse. You could potentially build, you decide what you're going to do. All right? It doesn't really matter. But you are deciding how you are going to manifest the life that is given to you. Now, there's a trick here. The moment you don't act like the light, you disconnect from the light. And the عد العكسي of your manifestation begins. It's a sad truth, but it's the truth. The moment you come into this world, you are already dying. The moment you create something, it is already an old idea, right? So the moment you are disconnected from the light force of the Creator, by not acting like the light force of the Creator, whatever you are choosing to manifest, this is scary for a 26-year-old. Just bear with me. All right, just bear with me. We will make it practical to your business. Don't worry. Okay. The moment that you disconnect from that energy force of giving, that moment, whatever you've stopped giving towards begins to deteriorate. All right? إذا أنت كل يوم بتطعمي كلبك، عندك كلب بسيني شي حيوان بسينه، مش كل يوم بتطعميها، أوكي إذا وقفتي تطعميها شو بيصير؟ That's it. It's as simple as that. Yeah, we're gonna learn how to. Don't worry, that's what we're studying. But I want you to understand that it's not a system where God is punishing me. He's not giving me what I want. No, no, no. I'm going to go pray some more and maybe that will happen. Someone عم يستجيب لي, another person is not عم يستجيب لي. No, 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 no. This has nothing to do with other people, right? Yeah, take responsibility, but understand this. No one can ever hurt you or take anything away from you or disown you or take away your rights unless somehow you are not acting like the light of the creator. And sometimes, again, we, okay, oh yeah, but I'm acting like the light of the creator, صرت mamsaha. No, the light of the creator is not mamsaha. The moment you say no to the light is like, okay, bye-bye, right? So if you're not being treated with respect and dignity, then stop feeding that which is not treating you with respect and dignity. There's this really funny thing I saw on Instagram once, which is like, in 200 years ago, you'd have to cross the battlefield and to get to me, right? Like you'd have to cross the battlefield and wait to see me for 6 months and etc. And now you can't respond to my text message. I mean, what's up with that, right? It's a joke, but understand this. Whatever you are giving light to, you are continuing this. يعني بدي تبلشوا تفهموا الطبقات of the wisdom that's being taught here. If you want something to continue, you have to continuously give it energy. But if you want something to stop, then stop giving it energy. All right? And you have to know the difference. And you have to be able, and I'm going to give parental examples, I'm going to give business examples. But if your employee, all right, in your business is not performing the way that they should, right? A very simple example. They're not performing the way that they should. Then, well, I'm sorry. What is the issue here? There is this amount of work that needs to be done. You're not doing it. Let's consider cutting down your salary because I'm going to have to hire someone else to do this work, right? That's number one. Number two, if your child is acting irresponsibly and doesn't want to pick up his clothes off the floor, a simple example, that's fine. أهلا وسهلا. Please don't pick up your clothes off the floor. ما عندي مشكلة. هيدول التياب يلي هني على الأرض يا بيطيروا من الشباك, or if it's legal, rent, leave. You're not a tree. I don't own you. It's tough on you because, by the way, the reason you don't want to do it is because you're justifying your existence by being a mother. Sorry, من الآخر يعني. Oh, I'm the loving mother يلي بتساعدوني كتير. مرحبا, مين طالب منك? What are you growing? Dependent, insecure children, or are you growing secure, self-reliant children? بس لا. No, I have to feel like I'm loved and, and أنا أولادي بيحبوني وأنا عندي إياهم بعد الله وما. Cut the crap, get a life, and move on. That's it. You're not picking up your clothes. Either rent and leave if you're 17, 18, 19, whatever ages you feel comfortable with, or, I don't know, right? يعني في شيء that has to categorically stop being fed, being given energy. And the source of energy is you. Feeding the positive and the negative that you want. The life that you see right now, the life that you see, the life that you are living, and this is the painful fourth principle, the quality of life that you see is what the quality of life that you give. That's how much life sees from you. If you get 20% out of this world, it's because the world only gets 20% out of you. If you see that there is poverty in the world, it's because you already function as a poor person. If you're not inspired and don't have creativity, it's because you're not creating enough. Not because I have a creative blockage. It flows, right? The idea comes, you find someone, you meet someone. Understand this, what is happening in your life, let's say you have 10 men, okay, 10 men in front of me. The quality of the man that you choose is not determined by how much you analyze, by how many friends you ask, by how much studies you do, by how much psychology you study. That's actually not going to determine. the quality of the man that you're going to pick. What's going to determine the quality of man that you pick is your ability to see clearly. And that is determined by how much light you have. Because so many times we pick something and we're like, shit, يا ريتني كنت عارفة. Right? It's because you don't have enough light. Everything, and that's why in the House of Wisdom we use the word light, because the ability to see or to know is only defined by how much light you actually have, not by how much of anything you do. You can have, and by the way, this is beneficial for you, and I'm going to stop pointing for what benefits who, but you need to know something. I could eat a khasse, and you can eat the same khasse that is absolutely twins with your khasse, and my body will assimilate that khasse based on the light that I have, the consciousness that I have, the gratefulness that I have, my energy level, completely differently to how it's going to assimilate in your body. It has nothing to do with what we ate. And that is why 90% of diets doesn't work. It's actually bullshit, because you've measured it against 100 people 5 years ago. Good for you. 5 years ago is already redundant information. It's already dead consciousness. Okay, applying it to people that are now what? Different microbes, different consciousness, different mechanism, different vegetable. Right? So how do you come to that level of thinking, or how much light you have? You could potentially, and this is really the wisdom behind the transformation of Jesus's water into wine, right? That he's saying that actually your consciousness can alter anything. It can alter the food. It can alter the bread. It can alter the fish. It can alter anything. That was what that story was telling you. It wasn't telling you, yeah, Jesus performed the miracle. Bye-bye. Okay, he's gone 2,000 years ago. Bye-bye. What is it to you? It means that your food can be altered with the light force, with the energy of the light force. There's something that can be altered. All right. Can we move on to the next idea?
Nana, I have a question. How does like external catastrophes, let's say, or like whatever happened to us in Lebanon with the bank system, and factor into this, us dealing with the light?
Okay. So I will answer this, and it's also a painful answer. Unfortunately. ما بدي إنه من أول صف تكرهوني, but it's okay. I guess that's part of this course in wisdom. But
أنا هون لأنك هيك.
But there are 3 things that you have to know prerequisite, because it's a new class. First of all, I don't speak about politics. I speak about spirituality in general, laws of spirituality. So whether that falls under a political philosophy that I'm not aware of, I wouldn't know. I don't own a TV. I literally do not own a TV. All right. I watch Netflix when I want to watch something. And I don't care about politics. The second thing is I love religion. I study everything that comes from the Abrahamic school of thought, yet I identify as a Muslim, since we're now all big on, you know, stuff, but my husband is Christian. That's not the but, that's the and. But understand this, that I don't have a muyul towards saying I'm right and he's wrong, and no, actually this is more truthful than the other. I quite frankly feel that it's all essence language. Someone is telling you the consciousness, and it's up to you to understand what it's trying to teach you from this sacred language. The third thing is that when I voice something as an opinion that has to do with politics or religion, please understand that this is the capacity of my understanding, and maybe in the future I might learn something new, or I might come to understand something new, so that can change. All right, so with the banks, إذا هلأ بتفتحوا الإنترنت وبتلاقوا حدا بيعطي 15% فوايد على مصاري, okay, all right, and you thought that there was no risk there, you're either dumb or playing dumb because you want to stay in your comfort zone. Okay, so let's all be honest. The second thing is, in Lebanon, I came the first 6 years. One of the reasons that the House of Wisdom remained a small institution was because I couldn't find an employee for less than $1,500. All right? That is because the Lebanese would prefer to live on interest rather than live on working or even investing in businesses or even doing something with money. They just prefer to sit at home and do it. Of course, there are different people and some. All right. The third thing is that we also have to understand of the bank system, that while we can blame the politics in Lebanon, you also need to understand that this is a global problem. It is not just blame. Actually, if you want to look at from a financial perspective of Riyad Saleh, and I'm not defending him, but because I truly understand the financial system because I'm interested in money. Like I teach a course in financial freedom, so I'm very interested in how that works. And I can tell you that from a financial perspective, the guy did really well, did his best at every given moment. But Lebanon's corruption could not be underestimated. There was no surviving sector in Lebanon that he could even invest in that money in order to yield a return. It's an empty faucet that was draining all of this. There is nothing that this man could have done, and it is his job to say الليرة بألف خير. انتبهوا، يعني هلا انزلي لتحت ويكون ديبك مشكل ويكونوا الإسرائيلية فاتوا علينا، تسألي الجيش شو في، حيقول لك ما في شيء. That's his job, right?
But this is not what I meant. What I meant when you said that the way we reflect the light, we get the light, and how we use the energy shows how we live. So نحن as citizens ما كنا عاملين
لا بلا
in our
بلا انت كنت داكي مصرياتك بالبنك لتاخدي فوايد، انت ما عم بتشغلي مصرياتك، ما عم تعملي ريكورنسي بالايكونومي، يعني انت لا عم تاخدي ولا عم بتجيبي، ما في كورانت بالايكونومي. اكيد انت قاطعه اللايت عنهم، بالنهايه رح يموتوا.
Okay, in that sense.
In that sense, yes,
so when
absolutely.
you buy real estate مثلا أو هيك قصص وبتشغليهم بس كمان راح
we will study all of these things more deeply as to what we do with energy and money. But for now, as a spiritual system, right, you need to understand anything you don't give life to or light to eventually deteriorates and dies. All right? And how it dies is the physical five senses. يعني في ناس بتنسرق، في ناس بيختفوا، في ناس بتسرقوا من الدولة، في ناس they depreciate, right? So
yeah, okay? That makes sense. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Any other tricky questions? Yeah. Okay. So what is the first way or the first principle to reveal light? All right. So we understood that the life force of the creator, the light, is always sharing. It's always giving. All right. And there is a spiritual law that says the law of affinity. So if you want to be like the light, if you want to have more light, you've got to be like the light. You cannot be in the total opposite of the light. You want more light, you've got to act like the light, behave like the light, whatever that means for you. And it depends on what it means for the situation. But if you want to not have more light, how do you push away the light? And pushing away the light means you acknowledge and you live in the emptiness. All right? And emptiness, انت ضعتي?
No, with you.
You're with me? Okay. Living in the emptiness means things like I live in my loneliness. I live in my victim state. I live in my ignorance. I live in my pride. I live in my tribe. I live in my mom's ideas. I live in my grandmother's ideas. Whatever it is, I live in a state of pain, emptiness, lack. All right? You live in a state like that. Now, there's a trick here. It's a step-by-step. So I'm taking you through the step-by-step what happens to human nature. You can't live there. No one can live there because that state doesn't really exist, right? You can't survive there. So just
most of the people عايشين
لا 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 لحظة هلا رح وصلك. No, you're not actually living in the emptiness of the loneliness. Wait. So what you begin to do when you truly feel pain, right, or emptiness, you begin to react. All right? Numb it, react. Numbing is a type of reaction. All right? So actually, you're not living in the emptiness. You are labeling the reactions you have to the pain as, you know, loneliness, etc. But the actual physical pain, you can't live there. So what you do is you go into what is known as the reactive mode. All right? You go into reactive mode. And each person's reactive mode is different. Eating, shopping, drugs, over-talking, over-complaining, over-explaining. People, please love me. I'll do anything for you to love me. Please be with me. ما انت صديقتي ولو ما اتصلتي فيي. اوكي ما اتصل فيك شو بتجي. Yes, of course. Depression, the same thing, right? Again, by the way, no, let's leave that for more advanced about depression. All right. So understanding this, that anxiety, even anxiety, it's you reacting to the pain. You're being reactive to the pain. Why? Because you want to chase the colors. You're not chasing the light. You're chasing colors. The work, you want the income without the work. You want the love without the effort. You want the colors. You just don't want the light. You want to get it instant gratification. And by the way, I'm going to give you a little bit of an advanced material, and then we'll bring it down. For those of you who get it, it's fine. For those of you who don't get it, move on. It's okay. We take our instant gratification from people, from food, from everything around us, right? It fills you up with energy. It is real. It is filling you up with energy. But the problem with constantly seeking instant gratification is that the consciousness of man does not grow because you are stealing from each other. You're not bringing more light into the world. You're just عم تاكلوا بعضكم. And it's for a short period of time, because in reality, remember what we said at the beginning of the course? What is yours is yours. All right? What is yours is yours. Someone else can borrow it, but they can't keep it, because eventually, the moment the other person raises his consciousness to earn back his own light, it goes to him. I'm going to give you guys remember Just Falafel? No? Nobody remembers? Okay, I'll tell you the story of Just Falafel. Okay, personally, it's one of my favorite stories in Lebanon. So, في فلافل صهيون. أكيد بتعرفوا فلافل صهيون. Okay, the guy بيبيع sandwich. أعطينا خبزنا كفاتا يومنا. Okay, fine, he makes a lot of money now. بس إنه عم نقول إنه it's a cheap man's food, fast food. Everybody goes there, fine. إجا فتح واحد مفزلك جاي من أمريكا معه مصاري كتير. راح فتح عنده دغري Just Falafel. All right? And Just Falafel وصار بده يعملها مع تشيز ومع ما بعرف الخبريه. اوكي تروحي لعنده كان الساندويش انه غالي، انه الساندويش الفلافل انه عاده حقه 2000 3000 بوقتها، يعني صار انه هيداكي 15000 و20000 انه بدنا نروح. Anyway, and everybody was Just Falafel وفتح بلندن وفتح بدبي وفتح. And I used to and everybody was like Just Falafel. I'm like, the guy is not gonna last. And they're like, why are you saying this? And I'm like, because this guy is just brought his money, knows nothing about falafel, okay, and is just innovating the falafel. Not that there's anything wrong with the innovation, but you could just feel it in the energy. There was something not quite right. And that it was true. About a year and a half later, Just Falafel closed, and Falafel Sahyun still survives. The idea is that if you are looking at the short term of it, you will be like, oh yeah, just falafel, so popular. Where is your long-term vision? Right? Where's your long-term vision? Because yes, he took someone else's rizq or money or whatever. But what is it? And that's the idea that you have to understand. If you're not bringing in light from the light force of the creator, you're not bringing anything new to the world. Your consciousness is not growing. You're just borrowing stuff from people. And that is why you have things that eventually disappear. Right? That's why you have things that eventually disappear. It's not because, by the way, and this is very important spiritual principle, what is yours and it can never be taken away, it can never be diminished. But the problem if something doesn't stay was because initially that's not your level of consciousness, you never earned it. All right? And here comes one of the things. When you are born in this world, you choose to come to reveal your own light. You don't choose coming here, hey, yalla, it's a holiday. You come and in your contract, you choose the maximum that you can handle to reveal the maximum light. Because the maximum light is kind of like, you know how everybody wants more money? That's why you want more light. It's biologically ingrained in you. Because, and this is from Sufi text, what was one of the objectives of the creator is for him to be known, right? So all Sufi masters tell you the light of the creator created the world in order to be known. It sounds like, oh, okay, lofty, but actually that's what it's talking about, because man wants to become like God. You want to become God. Why do you think you love your cat so much? It's because to her, you are the provider. You're like God to her. Think about it. Why do you love small babies? Because you're like God to them. But say, you don't like them so much, huh? You're like, huh? I'm جاوبني. Nah, doesn't work anymore. I don't like you that much anymore. You don't feed my ego. Right? And, and kids are designed, by the way, for the first 7 years to feed your ego. After that, not so much. My daughter just turned 7. I remember, when she was 5, she's like, Mommy, you're the most beautiful mommy. And I'm like, wow. These upper forces are just like really on another level. Now she's like, I don't like what you're wearing. I think you're boring. And I'm now like, I don't like you so much, right? You're not that cute anymore. All right. So we're okay with that? Can we move? Okay, there's one more thing and then we're done. So let's define instant gratification or reactive behavior. Reactive behavior is any thought or action which comes from lack or fear in order to receive instant gratification. So it's not just an action, it's also a thought or an action which comes from lack or fear. It's come from inside you the moment that you experience some sort of emptiness. And from that reaction, you experience instant gratification. يعني نحن ما قلنا لكم لا, it doesn't work, وما بيجوز وحرام, or it's negative energy. لا ما تكذبوا على حالكم. Drugs work, chocolate works, everything works, right? And that's why you keep going back to it. All right? There are 3, this is now for the psychologists, there are 3 ways in which most people react. This is not a psychology class, بس لأقرب لكم الترمينولوجي لحتى ما تضيعوا. This is the spiritual essence that drives the fight, flight, freeze. Okay, this is what drives it.
The triple F, right?
Sorry?
The FFF, you mean? Flight, freeze, or flight?
Yes.
لأنه نقطع الصوت.
Okay, so this is what drives it. يعني what's behind that behavior? يعني what's behind the reactive behavior, the fight, fight, freeze? That's the reactive behavior of that emptiness. All right? And your mode of reaction depends purely on what is going to get you instant gratification. ما تفكروا إنه إنسان خايف عم بيفكر. هو بس مركز على هو شو بده. أوكي؟ سو هيدا الشيء كتير مهم تعرفوه لأنه أمرار على حالنا صعب نشوفها. With more as you study the course in wisdom حتبلشوا تشوفوها. بس for others it's very easy to spot, by the way, right? Don't think anybody cares about hurting you. جرحني وقلق. حبيبتي منه واعي. He's in a mode of lack. He needs energy. You're a source of energy. Bye bye. كفى حياته. All right? That's why here a little bit هيك هيدا لبنات ال 26 اوكي اذا بتريدوا يعني لما حدا بده your energy he has to pay for it. Okay, he has to pay for it. And the way that men pay for it is marriage, car, house, money, expensive dinner, all of these things. ما تجوا تضحكوا على حالكم تقولوا لا no I'm unconditional love, it's 50-50 I'm independent. No. He's sucking on your energy. He best pay for it. And the same works with the for men. If a woman is going to leech on your finances and take your house and your car and your money, then she better make you feel like a king, right? You're a king. But the moment you stop paying, then the repercussions. No light, the woman begins to deteriorate. All right? And actually, subconsciously, we act like this. We don't know it. But the moment ببلش الرجال بالبيت أو برات البيت أو whatever يتبخلن, you're like, ليه بدي أتحمل نقه؟ ليه بدي أتحمل ريحته؟ ليه بدي أتحمل... Right? The deterioration starts because the vessel is not receiving light. All right? And if the vessel continues into the giving mode, then it becomes you're feeding negativity in the house, whether wife, whether husband, whether boyfriend. ما اتصل فيك. You know, there was one thing that I always tell students or clients, he ignored you once. If that's the relationship, that's how it started, end it there and then. ما في شيء بقى تكفي فيه. There's nothing there. Oh, but I believe in second chances. Okay, believe in second chances. روحي انطرقي بعد كعف. It doesn't work because there's a dynamic, and unless that person changes his consciousness, and when the person changes his consciousness, he does not come feeding you words. He comes giving you results. Yeah, action, results. Not حتى مش الأكشن. It's the result itself. يعني, again, we're not going to go into relationship with best friends. Okay, yes?
Okay.
All right? So, instant gratification works. Get yourself out of it. And the way to get yourself out of it is very simple. It's actually very simple. It's very difficult, but it's very simple. And it is the first tool. All the others are principles. But هيدا الشيء, it's a tool. It's something you have to do kind of physically. You have to pause. Pause. Actually, there's nothing to do in that situation. Get yourself out of the situation. Whatever it is, I feel lack, I feel fear. I'm going to go eat chocolate to feel better. Pause. Breathe. Take a pause. Get yourself out. Right? This is literally, I've been teaching Course in Wisdom, and I was taught Course in Wisdom, and so many teachers teach Course in Wisdom. And I can tell you one thing. Any student you ask after many years, and you will see them and you will meet them as you go, you saw them, what's the number one tool that is the most powerful for you? Pause. They always tell you it's the pause. And I will explain scientifically why pause is the most powerful tool in revealing light. Because actually, this is not just Jana, بcourse in wisdom, she said pause. So هلا رح جرب pause. بس يلك مصاحب وحدة علي أحلى مني يا. No, that's not the reason why you should pause. Because the cosmos, is it light or dark? Our solar system, is it light or dark? It's
Solar.
dark.
Dark.
It's dark. The cosmos is dark. But actually, there's the sun. So why is it dark? Why is it dark if there's the sun? No. What creates light? Hold on. What creates the light? نحن مش حنحمرن نقينا كلمة light. What creates light? It's the pushback of the planets. It's the pushback of the planets. It's where the light hits the planets, where it reflects back. That light is generated, light is seen. Right? That's when the light is seen. That's where things, the light bulb, there's a current and there's another current. It's where they meet that the light goes. Even the way you listen, your eardrums, it's a pushback system. It's like there's a drumming effect on something that it's hitting back. It generates waves that your mind deciphers. Your eyes, the way they see is that light goes in and there's a pushback and it tilts. Light is only created or is revealed, because light is not created. Light is revealed through the scientific word or the real spiritual word, which is known as restriction. هلا حولناها لpause in order to make it more easy for students. But the real word is the restriction. It's the pushback. When you say, no, I push against this. I push against this behavior. I push against this reality. I'm not going to engage. I'm not engaging. You continue to live in that. And in that moment, the reality or what you're capable of seeing or your consciousness changes. That's it. That is the only way to change your consciousness. Meditation, prayer, blah, blah, blah. These are to bring in light, but it's not to reveal the light. وهيدا الشيء اللي بدي إياكم, for those of you who come from spiritual schools or therapy or whatever, please understand this. كل techniques in psychology, with no exception, they all bring in energy, blah, blah, blah. But the actual push is only created through the restriction. Restriction. It's a pushback. For each case, it's different.
Pushback, so means okay, you stop things that hurts you, or
you stop reacting. You stop reacting. That's the pause. You pause on the reaction. فيك تفسريها again, guys, هيدا ولا شيء. It's terminology. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay, it's the principle that matters. Okay, if you're a scientist, you'll like restriction. If you are a a healer, you'll be like power of letting go and surrender. Fine, it doesn't really matter. Okay, the idea is the pause, and the pause is not just pause on everything and anyone and cliché. Pause in انه انتبهوا في هون بس شغله لازم نفهمها. Pause مش على كل شيء. And pause is only valid when you are in a reactive mode. Pause is only pause. What was that? Okay, pause was only reactive. Pause is only active in the reactive mode. Yani it reveals light when you're. It depends on the situation.
Please, could you repeat the last point? Pause is only reactive when?
Pause is only active in the reactive mode.
شو بيقولوا not to react, يعني إنه to take your time and to respond.
Is you take yourself out of the تدفترض. رح أعطيك two examples. Okay, you walk into a shop and someone says, this shirt costs $100. Okay, and you're like, whoa, I'm scared. I don't want to spend that much money. I'm not sure. No. Right? You're going through the fear mode. Okay, that is the time to buy the shirt. To buy it because you're scared. Okay, let's use another example. لأنه Okay, let's start slow. Let's start with the simple things. You're sitting at a table and there's a cake, but you want to lose weight. And the cake comes and you are like, oh my God, this is my favorite cake. That's when you should pause.
To eat or to
Pause, don't eat the cake. Don't eat the cake. لأنه التيشيرت أنت خايفة تشتريها. إيه بس أوكي الفرق.
في هدف منه.
ايه يعني انت لحظه انت الشيرت خايفه من انك تصرفي مصاري. it's a fear that's not really real. بينما انت you have a target to lose weight. فهمتي علي؟ يعني guys it's a principle that you have to push back. Exactly. The idea is the pushback of whatever. ايه يعني انتبهي مثلا for example, if you are someone who's aggressive, if someone comes to you and starts shouting at you, if you're someone who starts shouting back, okay, then the pause is for you to be quiet. But إذا someone جاي عم بيعيط عليكي وأصلاً أنت بتخافي وبتستحي وبتنخجلي, then the pause is to actually scream back.
I used to do it.
Yeah. So the idea is that the pause, again, guys, بدنا نفهم, it's a universal principle. What generates light or our ability to see light is the restriction. It's the pausing on your reactive behavior.
When there is the fear, you have
So
When there is fear, you have to push forward. You have to pause the fear and push forward.
okay, pause the fear.
So the pause is about acting in a way that is beneficial to us.
Sometimes the pause is not an action.
Yeah.
Pause, sometimes it's not an action كمان. Sometimes the pause is قاعدة هي رح أسقط بالامتحان خلص مش حطلع مصاري يا الله ما ادري. Pause.
Pause. Eh.
Pause the mind chatter, but you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah, okay. But
All right?
actually making a decision that is beneficial for us.
You don't, again, I don't want to fall into that trap, because if you move very quickly, you see here, this is even the element of pause. If you pick up on that, you immediately want the result because you don't want to sit in the unknown. You want to know what's after. Let it tell me, but is it so I do what's beneficial for me? Pause. You see that right there? Pause on that.
Okay.
فهمتيها?
Good.
You know, even that, but I suddenly, I don't know something. Jannah is hiding something. There's something I don't know. So what is it? What is it? Is it so you see, it's again that characteristic of you don't sit in the emptiness, right? And by the way, this runs so deep and so shallow, right? Like you literally just did it. You don't want to sit in the moment of pause. And if you don't sit in the moment of pause, you cannot reveal the light. You're just taking energy from somewhere else. And it's literally, my teacher was once asked, what does it take to become a spiritual master? Right? So there was a lot of questions. What does it take to become a spiritual master? And everyone was like, all the students were like sitting and were like, what does it take? What does it take? Like, it must be like some long list. And he's just like, restriction, a lot of restriction. That's it. That's all it takes. If you can master the pause, everything else that you study in the course in wisdom is kind of nice. Exactly. You're pausing in order to let the light come in. And for each person, that might be different. For each person, that might be different. The time can be different. The location can be different. Sometimes it's a 3-second pause. Sometimes it's a 10-second pause. Sometimes it's a month's pause, right? Pause is not a dead state. It's a very active state in which you're holding a reactive energy, but you're kind of saying, I'm going to use that energy and direct it in the way that I want the outcome in. All right? So the second thing is, what a pleasure, which is let the light in. All right? What a pleasure. Tibhu, what is the pleasure here? I want to identify what the pleasure is. The pleasure is the fact that you are receiving a chance to literally change your reality, to see a different reality, to experience a different reality. Nobody is saying that when you get that phone call, hello, I'm going to sue you, that you should be like, hey, pause, please go ahead and sue me. No, please go fight in court, get everything that you want, fight like a lion, but don't fight with anxiety, stress, fear. Okay, hello, I'm going to sue you. Pause. What a pleasure. If she's suing me for money, that means I am meant to have that money and even more. Because if you're asking me for that money, that means that money is somehow going to come to me. Or that money, you wouldn't be asking me for this. The scenario in which أنت هتفترسي علي does not exist. Right? And even if you lose in court, oh yeah, the pause didn't work. That's not where the pause was supposed to work. The pause was supposed to work in some other situation. Right? We have to understand that when something is not the way you want it, if it's not a happy end, it's not the end. You need to always understand this. In the spiritual system of things, if it's not a happy end, it's not the end. But the problem is that you want some unidentified end. Like she wants to be Dolce and Gabbana. بس مثلا عم بعطي example. بس مثلا she's not interested in pushing the bounds of fashion and art. Of course you're not going to be Dolce and Gabbana. You're not willing to step it up. Right? If you want to be like something, at least you've got to take the train of thought process and do that. What made them successful? All right? So, pause. What a pleasure. And the pleasure is, again, not the painful situation. That's not the pleasure. The pleasure is that you're being given an opportunity to change reality. All right? And I'm going to give you the original of those words. It was restriction, let the light in. All right? Those were the original words. هلا نستعمل pause. What a pleasure. So the pause, what a pleasure. Let's to make you laugh. So imagine someone's calling you and they're like, hi, I want more money. Right? But I just paid you the bill. They're like, no, well, I want more money. And then you're like, pause. This is better than a Netflix show, because at that moment, I'm not saying yes that I'm going to give you money. Tibhu. I'm not saying yes, I'm going to give you money. I'm not saying no to money. I'm saying pause. Let me think about this. You just pissed me off. I think you're ripping me off. But right now, you say nothing. You keep this to yourself. Pause. You take a step back. And then you decide strategically, we'll learn more tools on how to after that. But the first step is get yourself out of the situation. All right? Okay, very quickly. The principles that we learned today is that there is no coincidence. What is meant for you will come to you. Everything comes from the light of the Creator. Prioritize getting more light rather than chasing the different things. The moment that you prioritize getting more light, you will see things manifesting more for you. Creator cannot force him or herself. The light cannot come into a vessel that's too small. And the last one is pause. What a pleasure. Questions? Ahmad, you had a question?
No. الصوت قطع على prioritize the light, بس فهمت لما قلت chase the light, do not chase the colors. You said it before, and I wrote it, and this is why. بس الصوت كان عم.
Okay, so we're going to do one quick round and we will end for tonight. Mira, we'll start by you. Yes. All right. So share one thing that you feel that you learned that you can apply.
To prioritize light, everything.
Okay.
Pose and what a pleasure, even.
Okay. Pause for pleasure,
Mm.
prioritize life.
Okay.
That the light cannot pass through a small vessel, like you have to be ready and to allow it actually.
To prioritize the light.
Prioritize the light. Okay.
Yeah, to focus on taking the light and giving it back.
Focus on taking the light and giving it back. Hamad.
I understood Isaac Newton's quote, truth is the offspring of silence and unbroken meditation. I was wondering what does he mean by that, and I just got it, to be honest.
Alhamdulillah. All right. Can you repeat the quote?
Truth is the offspring of silence and unbroken meditation.
Good. And Sandra?
I love the what a pleasure.
Okay. All right. So for next week, all right, the only thing that you guys have is to try and pause. All right. Wherever you can, different levels on different things. But again, remember, pause is not like يتصل فيا حدا I pause لأنه no. Pause is when you feel lack. It's when you feel that fear, that emptiness. That's when you should pause. Not I'm pausing on everything in life suddenly. مش هقوم من التخت يعني. I'm pausing. All right, that's number one. So try to pause. The second thing is that's your homework. The second thing is, please, for the course in wisdom, there are 3 things that will happen. This course has 3 dimensions. One which is actually psychological, one which is spiritual, and one which is very physical. And أنا ما بحب أعمل دعايات شوي زيادة عن اللزوم. I like to explain, but not to. Give the course in wisdom kind of your dedication and commitment. Try it. There's nothing, if you don't do the work, there's nothing, you have to try it, right? Just come to the course in wisdom with that desire, enter with what is known as tabula rasa, like an empty slate. Just give it a try, right? Give it the benefit of the doubt. The third thing is, because your consciousness is going to change, right? That you're going to start to want to do many different things because that's light coming in. Just understand that, please, at least until you finish level 1, try not to commit to more things to study. The reason is because what's going to happen is that you're studying and they're all good, but that is the light trying to come in, and you're going to go into another mode of knowledge, which we're trying to get you out of in order for you to connect. Yeah, focus on something and get that done. All right. New jobs, new relationships, new things that come your way, don't allow those to distract you from the course in wisdom. They could be yours, but still the pause. Even if the person is your soulmate, the fact that you go, yeah, he's my soulmate, you didn't pause. Even if that relationship was meant to work, it's not going to work anymore. All right. So give the course in wisdom a chance. Again, I will see you next week at Thursday at 7 p.m. And please don't worry about the number of weeks. I don't teach the course by the number of weeks. I teach the course by the material being done. So إذا حسيتوا وصلنا أسبوع الثامن blah blah, don't worry. Whatever it takes for me to finish the material in level 1. That's number 1. And the last thing is, by class 3, you should see a breakthrough. You should see a breakthrough by class 1 or 2, like once you try them. But by class 3, if you haven't seen a breakthrough, that has never happened. So start to do the work. There is work that you need to do. All right. لكم انتوا شكلكم منكم جماعة تشيبس ولا